Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I have another bottle because these are quick, easy. Paint them, embellish them, put your rope around them, put some beads on them, put a flower in them. Let's put a flower on them. Now, that's the downside with it cascading. All right, let's do this. Let's Floral Anthology this bottle all the way to the bottom edge and lay it down. Rub the whole transfer on. I always like to go ahead and try to lay down as much as I can before I try to take a little bit off at a time. Let your gapped edges sit right where they are. You can see some of it's already trying to adhere, but go ahead and finish covering the majority of your transfer where it is. Go ahead and rub it in. And see, sometimes you can just, as long as you push that image off that acetate and onto your surface, you're doing it well. So I'm going to turn this sideways. I didn't get a towel to lay down under this, and I was looking for something I could put my hands on so I could steady this. Oh, look, bet this will work. Stain pad to the rescue. There we go. Just so it's soft and it doesn't roll around so much. That'll make it a little bit easier. I like a folded towel under it because that way it covers the whole surface. If you move too quickly when you're putting this on, it will crack, and then you'll have to backfill with paint. If you have a curved surface, like you do when you're doing a bottle, not only do you need to move carefully, even though you want to move quickly because this is beautiful and it's exciting to watch it happen, but if you move too quickly on a curved surface, you won't allow the transfer to lay itself down where it needs to, and you risk cracking your image. And if you do that, it's okay, you can backfill it. We'll show you how. Maximizing your application just simply means that you get your detail work on there. Look how fine those little vines are. If you use too big a tool to put that on, then you risk damaging your precious little flowers, and you don't want to do that. Rub it on with your hand. You want to burnish it. You want to make sure you have no air bubbles, no spots that are lifting, because if you do, when you seal it or you add more paint to it, it will get up underneath, and anything underneath your transfer set will lift your transfer. Had a little air bubble right there. Just rub it out. Rub it smooth as you can. Don't rub hard. These transfers are such fine quality. They're thin. And once you adhere them, they take on the life of the surface where you put them. So you cannot actually feel this transfer as a separate piece of this bottle now. It lives right there in its Floral Anthology beauty. I don't know if you have ever seen the video from the sisters on a resist, or if you remember last week when we worked on a resist. Let me show you again because I think it is superbly cool. If you're freaking out because I just painted over my precious Floral Anthology Transfer, do not freak out. Of course, it'll startle you when you do it the first time, but don't freak out. I'm going to dampen my stain pad a little bit since this is what we're going to use. I don't want it real wet. I just want it damp. Just a little bit damp. And let's move that paint around. Still too much? It's okay. When you're using the Rethunk junk paint, it is water-based. If you feel like there's an area where the paint has too much emphasis, spritz it and continue to wipe it back. You just want a hint of that color behind there. And it totally changed the tone of where this transfer lives on this bottle. Give it some sky. Flip your pad over, or your towel, whatever you're using. How about that? What a beautiful color and what a beautiful finish. But look how when you do a resist, the paint settles itself into not only the crevices of the bottle paint, but over the top of the transfer. Now you want to be super careful. When you spritz water to wipe back the paint, you don't want to oversaturate this transfer. They are very thin. The water will absorb underneath it and lift it. So be very careful. There's a balance there. And you have to make sure if you give yourself a little bit of a bubble when you are laying down your color over your transfer, make sure you go back and burnish that transfer on one more time so that you don't lose any of your transfer in the long run. Water-based sealant will protect this. Do it in thin coats. Again, the transfer is so thin that it will absorb whatever you put on it, whether it be paint, water, or sealant. And if you put too much too quickly, you will damage your image and it won't be a long-lasting finish. And I like long-lasting finishes.